pennies now, you can bet your bottom dollar when it's hundreds of thousands, they're going to be the ones who are going to try and be shady.
And this is really an important part as well. It's really difficult to get that out, to figure it out at the beginning.
Very, very.
So sometimes you have a good feeling and you say, so I have 2 hours. I knew from, I don't know, we talked 2 hours and I knew, okay, I mean, you never know if it's 100% then the way it's going to be. But you have a feeling and then you go out and say, okay, I trust that person from the start and give it a chance. So this is good. And then it pays back sometime. But sometimes there are people where you immediately feel, okay, no, we don't speak the same language.
Exactly. And there are times there's belief in the person, it doesn't work out, and that's fine. We will always believe in people because our job is to support people anyway. So even if you are burned, you roll the dice and you go again. I've had artists before who've done things that I wouldn't recommend, and that's their character and not mine. But we still believe in art, we still believe in integrity, and we still believe in getting the job done. Mm-hmm.
What we do is sometimes that we just start working with each other. In Germany, we say have something like a Probezeit, that we just try 1 year. Maybe sometimes they pay like a fee or something just to but more for the spirit that it's like giving and taking. So, and after 1 year of working on concrete projects, we have another base to decide, okay, does it fit or not? And this is what I like when I'm not 100% sure, or if the feeling is not there.
We do a similar thing. We do like a trial period. You kind of test out.
How you call it? Control period.
Trial.
Period.
Trial. Hope they're getting it right. We do a trial period, and you test out. And if they're like brand new, we might not even commission on anything under like a few hundred. We just leave that. That's not even worth commissioning. Yeah. So we'll do a trial period. And see how it works. It's almost like someone you're working with. It is that you're figuring out if there's synergy, and you get on.
Yeah, and I think it's a good tool if you're not have the right feeling right from the start, right?
Absolutely.
So okay, and regarding one time back to that point, different structures, different models. Have you heard about colleagues who do not work with a management contract of 20%, but without, for example, they just take the publishing rights and act as a publisher?
So, yes to both. So, an anecdote story that I've got, many years ago, I dated this girl and her dad managed George Michael. That was done on a handshake. That was without a contract, on a handshake. Obviously, that there was a spoken rule of 20%. So some managers, if you're brave enough and like living on the edge, you might do it on a handshake and like, I'll shake your hand. I agree to be yours forever and you're mine forever and it's whatever. Some managers in new companies are saying, okay, so rather than 20%, we're going to go and do a deal structure where I'm going to invest capital in you and sign your publishing and I'll get paid off of that. I think that's very smart as well. Everyone's empowered. The artist gets a bit of capital up front. It's worth doing, obviously. I don't think it's worth doing if the artist isn't getting any money in the beginning. I'm trying to think of an example where that wouldn't work because you've both got to be, it's got to make sense for both parties. But I think it's very smart, especially if you're a brand new artist, you need some money. It gives the management some security, it gives the artist some capital, and you can both win together.
Is it difficult for you to make the artist clear how to start and what the way is? Do you communicate the way, okay, after 1 year we are here and you have to pay this and that, or we do it like the trial period?
Yeah,
or do they understand immediately what you're up to and do they trust you?
That's why we always get our artists to get a lawyer independently. We might give them a list of here's 5 lawyers who we like. Ring them, meet them all, and choose your favorite lawyer. But we can't say, use my mate, my friend Dave, he's amazing. We can't influence you in your choice of lawyer. So, we'd sit down with them before doing anything. We want to make sure everything is transparent and above board and get the lawyer to step in the conversation and ensure that they're fully aligned. The only thing, actually, going back to your point of investing in artists, is anybody aware of a production deal? what that is, a production deal? So a production deal happens a lot in the US, and it's typically where the artist signs all of their rights to you, and then as the manager, you go and sign their rights to a third party, like a label, etc. It can be really good. I believe Erykah Badu had a production deal. She signed to a guy called Keita Massenberg, who then signed her rights to Universal, and they're now working and obviously earning money together. But it can go bad as well. So TLC signed all their rights to their manager, and they signed to a major label, sold millions of records, and only made hundreds of thousands. They did a famous speech, I think at the Grammys, like, they've sold millions of records, and now they're broke because their manager had taken all the money. So again, it's a real trust thing, you know, earning rights and stuff, and being above board and getting your lawyer involved. It's complicated. It can be simple, but you know, I always encourage artists to get legal advice, always, and understand the terms of the partnership.
So we share the attitude that the artist should be aware of the things,
always.
Not in every deepness, but should be...
Always. Even part of my management style is educational.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to an artist about a deal, I explain what it means in the parameters of the business and say, I would do this, this is my choice.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I think it's really important that the artist knows what his piano on stage costs and what the people are earning, and what, you 100%. Know, just to have a feeling what is going on there. I mean, I have another example, an artist I'm working for as a digital consultant, so I'm not the manager, but I'm working for them. And he's an artist who says, okay, and there are a lot of them, I think, I only want to be creative. I don't want to have nothing to do with deals, with numbers, with anything, with contracts. Okay, I'm not a fan of this, but there are these artists, and they are genius often. So what do you do then? So this guy is built his own company. He had first one manager, and they built up a team. Nowadays, it's like they have 10 employees or something. It was really, really successful. Is it something, I mean, I'm looking at this model and I think, okay, if he breaks his arm, the whole company is done. So this is my pain point with this structure. So have you experienced with that?
I haven't experienced that, but again, I would just always be transparent, like, okay, I know you're not a numbers fan. I'll give you top level numbers, just give you a flavor of what's going on without getting into detail. But again, I think it's really important that they're just aware of little bits. It's like going to a job and not checking your pay packet or your pay salary. Just know what's coming in a little bit. You know what you earn a year. You know, just education for artists is really important. I like to educate them on the business because it's just so they can know really what and how it works.
And regarding teams, what is your experience there? I mean, you told me before you have employees, right? For your own,
a couple of employees, yeah.
And they are working for all artists, or are they assigned to...
So we split it up. So occasionally I'm day manager, and the day manager is the person who does the day-to-day work, person who gets back to the emails, goes to the meetings, etc. Or a scenario where my colleague is day manager, and I'm across everything, but there are some that I'm really hands-on and involved, and there are some that I only step into when it's like deals. I'll do the deal and strategy. I don't mind either really. I'll do both happily. It depends on, I guess, my passion for the project, the music and the artist, if I'm day manager. But it depends really. I could be just the person reading the emails or doing the deal. But we exchange roles. Everybody's got the one artist they work on as a core artist and the one they might oversee.
I see, okay. Interesting. I had employees as well, I told you, until the pandemic. Then I changed the model, but it was too hard for me, too risky. And since then, we're working with small teams, as always, freelancers. The core team should be like with a long-term vision. Yeah. The artist, booking agent, and management. So the three of us. And anything around is like, can change from time to time, a PR agency or something, a label. Okay, would be cool if it is a long-term partner, but we know how it is, or distributors.
What are the benefits for you of using freelancers? What do you see as the benefits as opposed to the full-time?
The risk, I don't have them on my payroll simply every month, and we are faster in making decisions, so a bit more flexible in every can, and I love to make decisions really fast when we, and we have the three partners at the table. We can make democratic decisions, and either we all three agree, or if 2 against 1, then we do what the 2 wants. And I like this spirit and the dynamic in these small teams. And this was always my pain point with big partners, record labels or big booking agencies, where the processes are so slow, and they assign the task to somebody you never have seen before. And then you're hanging there and waiting for a response, and you don't get the next step, and this is really annoying, I think. So
this goes back to a point of picking the right team is so important. When you've got a good team with an artist, be it their lawyer, agent, you just feel so empowered because everyone's really on job. Everyone's doing their thing. It's like clockwork. Everyone's doing their thing really well. I love it. If you've got a great team, it's the best.
Yeah. And I mean, the difficulty is the more people are involved, the more complicated it can get. Yeah. So the communication ways are longer, and is a big point. We already just have 10 minutes, if I see it right. We just talked the whole time. We wanted to involve you all after 20 minutes, so we didn't do that. But let's open it up, right, for some questions. I have a look at the tablet as well.
And there's a microphone here if you want to. Do you want to come grab it?
Hi, thank you. I actually have many questions, but I will go with 2.
Okay.
I'm artist manager for many years with different artists. And the thing is that I was starting in Ukraine, where we don't have at all music market, and now it's only starting growing. And that's why I didn't have really knowledge or experience how it works in normal conditions. But now I work with an artist who has a name, and the question is, how do you start with an artist who has a name bigger than yours when you are only a beginner in current conditions in this market, and you don't have so much connections, but you're growing very quickly, of course. But anyway, you can't, of course, expect 50-50, and sometimes even 20% looks like too much to ask in some conditions. And the second question was, how do you get a team? How do you also employ people without having a chance to promise them something, if you are also investing most of the time in this artist? Thank you.
Great questions. Do you want to start?
May I start with the second question? Yeah. I think we both agree you need believers that have the same attitude as you. You have to find people where you have the feeling that they have the intensity for that job, for what they're waiting for the artist, of course, for the art the artist does it. So I think this is quite clear, right? You need companions, not just workers or employees. So this was my experience before the pandemic, that it's nice to have an assistant, but if the assistant just does his job, it's too little in our field. We need people who are really onto that topic. Yeah.
Trying to remember what I was going to say. I had some points in my head. I'm trying to remember them. One of the things is, don't undervalue yourself. If thinking 20% is too much, don't undervalue yourself. I always think, right, when you're negotiating with an artist on your management contract, I always think, from the artist's point of view, if you're a manager who's not fighting for your own rights, how can you fight for their rights? So they're going to believe you that you're somebody who really fights in their corner if you're fighting for your own corner in the beginning. So I believe an artist wants a manager who is strong and knows what they want, because how can you manage them if you're insecure about yourself, right? So fight for your 20%. It doesn't matter if they're bigger than you. You've got skills. Just go out there and build your name on their name and build your network. It's really, really important. No artist wants a manager who is scared of taking what's fair.
And make clear what you're going to do. The fields of activity you work on are so various, as we said, so tell them. And that has a price.
Get paperwork as well. One more thing, get your paperwork, because you don't want to invest all of your time and it becomes meaningless. Obviously, God forbid that happens, but just make sure that you're also secure in doing the work and are not doing free labor.
Did we answer all your questions, more or less? Yeah. Are there more questions? Yeah, please.
I'm just interested because you said, like, okay, I have artists, I'm investing like 5 years or even 4 years. And then the normal, I don't know, management contracts that I can imagine are like you're doing this for a contract for 4 to 5 years and then they prolong for another year or whatsoever. And are there any expiration clauses? So I imagine, okay, the artist becomes super popular, you invested for 4 years, no minimum wage gained, right? Then any bigger management just snaps them.
The greatest question. I love this question. So,
okay, that's the question.
In a management contract, there really isn't a fixed term. Unlike a record deal when you've got a term, or a publishing deal where you've got a term, there really isn't a fixed term. It's just until it isn't working anymore or serving any parties. It is not pretty common, but it is common for artists to go and jump ship to other managers. But you've got a sunset clause in contracts, and that means that you still get paid for the projects you've worked on. So that means, let's say you worked on album 1, you'll still get paid on album 1, let's say for 3 years. So the first year it's 20%, a full commission. Year 2 is 15%, year 3 is 10%, and then it fades out. So you still get your dues. It's not particularly still fair because the artist is still earning off your groundwork, but that's as fair as it can be. Hence why we're talking about new models of being a partner with the label, really empowering them and working together on publishing and on records, because that way you're less exposed and are true partners.
Do you have more than 2 years as a sunset clause in UK?
Well, some lawyers would push back and say, oh, we only do 2, try and get 3 if you can, you know. Try and get what's fair. Fairness is the name of the game.
And this is a really important point. So this is
very
our
very
security, almost the only one we have in the contracts as managers.
Just a short follow-up, but it's only a sunset clause, so you never, because, well, from my experience, I once did a deal where it's just like, okay, I gain my percentages for whatever comes up in the next years, but obviously it's less percentage because I also get compensation for projects I have not been involved with, but that are just coming up. Is this super?
You don't really get, well, so if you've been let go and you've departed, you don't really earn money on things you haven't done. So if they sign a massive €1 million publishing deal in 5 months after they've left you, you don't really see a penny. Unless you can prove that you've done a bit of legwork to get that, you don't get anything out of that. It's just how it goes, really. So, yeah, it's a game built on trust.
So if you want to have a better sleep, maybe the option with the publishing rights could
100%.
could be more healthy for you. Please.
So I have 2 questions. You said that you typically take 20%. Do you take 20% of gross or of net? And my second question is, what happens if, like, you as a manager, you negotiate a deal with a label and, like, you negotiate an advance for that deal? What happens if the deal is signed and then the deal between you and the artist breaks? So, like, yeah.
So the deals that we sign are normally net. For instance, like, it's not net with tax, so obviously you'd invoice the artist and they'd pay their tax separately. But if give you an example, if they are trying to give you an example where it would be net. Let's say they're receiving money and all the money isn't theirs, they've got to go and pay their bands and etc. expenses. You only commission on the artist's earnings, so what goes in their pocket, not what they've got to pay out to other members of the band, legal fees, etc. But when you've got an advance from a record deal, it wouldn't include, I'm trying to say it correctly, it wouldn't include them paying tax and then paying you. So it's net, but not with tax. If the artist signs a record deal that you were involved in and they leave you, you were involved in the deal, so you've got to get paid still. They can't like say, I've had artists that I'd signed as an A&R when I was an A&R at a label, and it was always funny. Whenever they were doing deals, they would be managerless twice. They would do deals. Money comes in, they've lost their manager. Finally, then album number 2, they've got no manager again during the deal. I realised it was a pattern that they were doing. So that wasn't cool, by the way. But usually, if you're involved in the deal, you get paid. Yeah.
All right. Looking at the watch.
Just to add though, again, we are pro artists here, obviously, and pro art forms, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope this got clear, that we are always looking for balanced deals and really, yeah, the other one, every side needs the other one, right?
100%. It's a real partnership, like as we were saying.
And this transformation is never ends, I guess. So
always evolving, always. It's fun.
Let's see. Maybe we have another session next year or within the next years here or on other occasions. So we break up here because time's up, right? Or one question more is possible? Okay, cool.
Should we get someone else? Somebody else, sorry. Just get someone else in.
Another person?
If no one else has got one, then it's going to be you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Tell me, please, from your perspective as an artist manager, what key traits, skills, and professional habits in a musician make you say, oh, this is someone I want to work with him or she. The green flags that signal a strong fit for collaboration.
The biggest question at the end, yeah, where to start? I mean, I think the point we had in the middle of our discussion, of course, you are attracted by the art the artist is doing, so you find it somehow interesting and convincing. And the next step is this personal level. You have to build trust in a short time. It's like in every other company, you have to get a connection to the person, and to build trust, and vice versa. Yeah, the person in you as well. So this is the main task, and this is sometimes more important. With my first artist, I built up from zero. I was really unsure. I had not the feel. I had like such a list of points where I said, okay, we have to work on that on stage. You know, how she's performing and so on. So from that point of view, it was like, okay, this is too much. She's not there yet. But in the conversation, the first and the second and third conversation we had about it, I made this experience, okay, she sees the issues the same, she has the same feeling, and we can talk about that. So I got the impression, okay, we could really work on that together, because she's putting the same questions as me. And so we immediately started to work on these questions. And then I remember I said, okay, I really want to work with her. I don't know if it's going to be successful, and maybe we are quit in 6 months again. I don't know. But if you get that feeling, this is the most important part, maybe even more than the art itself. So it's just my experience. I don't know if you can add something to that.
Just to add to that, I would say raw talent is really important. You've got to be good, obviously, at making music. Integrity, as I was saying, you've got to trust the person. And, you know, I always use the analogy to artists that we're working with is that they're driving the car, so they've got to be a self-starter, and we're guiding them. We're reading the map. We're saying, turn left here, mind this pothole here. We're guiding them, but really and truly, they're the ones who are having their foot on the pedal, and we're making sure that it's a safe and smooth journey.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We're done.
Thank you.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Dean. It was a pleasure. Really cool.